What are you doing in Pamela's area?
Well, I got to get tall black Calvus, and she's not here. So it's up to me. And she gave me strict instructions on what I was allowed to do and not do.
Yeah, well, good thing she sent me a text and told me to videotape you in her area because she doesn't trust a thing you do. Well, Rick, looks like we've made it to another Friday and
Didn't do what we said we were going to do.
What are you working on?
We're catching orders because out of nowhere people made some orders for the weekend. We got to get them. So these are capillary-rettes. How many are in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, yeah, so
we're kind of filming this on the iPhone, so we'll speak up a little bit as we get
here's
going.
the big question. Where's my little net? Where's my net that's supposed to always be here?
That's a darn good question.
And I'm blaming it on the guys, but then I just remembered I was over here yesterday. Hey, I didn't scream, so nobody knows I blamed them. But anyway, we're out here catching.
And I'm trying to get a bucket with one hand.
And we were trying to do the Nano tank this week, but we just had this come up, so we're rushing through this. These are Lepido Lampologus elongatus. Oh, and Glenn says actually the breeders just bred.
Yep. Have eggs in the
We're
in
not
their
gonna
little
take them out
cave.
yet, are we?
No.
And they have, I'm surprised they bred. They've got, I was talking about them yesterday, about breaking them down, because they've got so many snails. And snails are just, they're everywhere. Now we're looking for some 6-stripe fronts. And we're looking for 2.5 and 2 3/4 on them. And I think I've got several sizes in there. Some of them will be a little bit bigger. These are good, aren't they? These are all big enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going next door. 6, 7, 8. Going next door now to get 6 red cap ventralis. No, 3. I don't, I gotta break it. 6 lot. I don't like people get, I know why. People order for their size tank they're gonna put them in. Sometimes the guys think they're doing them a favor by getting them a bigger fish. And it really is not. They sometimes call up and say, I can't fit those fish. The little male starting to come in color. So we get these. Here's a nice, here's a Micropinus in here. Look at him. Little male Micropinus. Yep. Very nice.
I didn't have a chance to focus.
Oh,
One more time.
no, little Micropinus.
Yep. Little dark.
And then I get 3 of these dudes. That's done. Where's my listo? Okay, now we gotta get 6 Boucherai. These are our Boucherai. Cool fish. It's not a great breeder, but it's definitely a hot fish. By hot, I mean it's when we have them. It doesn't take long to sell them. Got the breeders over there. I'm going to that's my bucket, so I need 6 of these guys. And I think he wanted this size right here. These are probably males and females in here. The bigger ones might be the males.
Can you show us?
Sure. They got like a lyre tail. No, son. Here's a bigger one.
Look at this one looking blue.
Yeah. This was a nice big one. You see a lyre tail on it?
Yeah, very nice.
It's a neat fish. It's an egg layer. We kind of just set them up and walk away, and then come back. A couple of months, and either move the breeders out and leave the babies, or, well, we don't even try to get the babies. You know, those snails are driving me crazy. Okay, here we are out here, we're looking for Albino Trewavasae. I think I need a dozen, correct though?
Yes, please. 12.
And they're in here with these
Albino Trewavasae.
Albino Trewavasae. Albino Trewavasae, the males are starting to do their thing. These are going to be red top males, and that's the female.
Yeah, they start to, you know, they start to get,
they're going to
go white.
This is going to be this is kind of where they're headed.
Let me focus. No, it's not moving. Perfect.
Yeah. So, they're a nice fish.
But that's not what we're here
Nope.
to catch. We're catching
Albino Trewavasae. And we put these out here. They do better out here. Some of them need to be shaded. Let's see, Albino Trewavasae. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice fish. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 2 to grow on.
Baker's dozen. It's
Yep.
a fish farm baker's dozen, not
Yeah.
13 but 14.
Yeah. Here we're at a one of our so-called, what do we call this thing?
It's an aquarium.
Aquarium. Yeah,
It's
these
just it's
fish
a holding place.
These are overcaught fish that were in the warehouse. We always bring them out. I try to sell them. I special them out at the end of the week if somebody wants them. But I'm looking for a big pair of Pseudos. And here's the female. Big old female. Now, I saw the male when I first came up here, so I must have missed them. They're crafty. As big as it is, they figure out how to get by you. Sometimes that's how they get big, because they're in a tank where you're going all the time, and they still sneak by you. But Glenn actually found these the other day in a...
Of all places, an ancestral tank.
Yep. Here he is.
You know, Rick, somebody was asking about the white knight.
White knight, yes. This is the biggest.
Yeah, this is the male of Pseudos. Look at that.
Malawi gar,
That's
because of
really
these
stunning.
lips.
Well, what's the pearl like looking fish?
See this right here? This is what people call white knight. We call it albino,
Albino electric blue.
but it's really not an albino because it doesn't have a red eye. But we don't care. That's what I call it. But people call it white knight. Female stays kind of yellow. Cool fish.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And these things are absolutely huge.
Yeah, the guys that ordered them said, are they really, you know, big? And all I wrote him back was, if I was a hobbyist, I'd buy it. Well, I would have. Okay, now we're going to go that row and go get some caudos, okay? In here for some redfin caudos. And they're in here with some Lepidolampologus Kandalis that we raised here on the farm that have really grown. But I'm hoping to have 6 of the caudos. Here's one right there. Redfin caudo. Nice little, it's a shell dweller type. Docile. Be great for the bottom of your tank.
And we're raising it in a total predatory tank.
Yeah. Well, the caudos have been in here.
Yeah, they grew up with.
And then we moved the.
Kandalis.
Oftentimes these fish, if you put them together after they come out here together, they'll live together really great. Sometimes if you were to walk out here, I know we added the Kandalis to these guys later. But if you come out here, sometimes you throw something brand new in here, and you don't disturb the tank, they're gonna whack each other. which they do. Now I got some better. I'm going to go ahead and recount the photos because I like this size better. These guys were hiding from me, trying to be sneaky. But I got onto them. A little bit nicer. Oftentimes 3, 4, 5. We give the exact number on Tanganyikans. They're just too hard. Not only hard to raise, numbers aren't big. Here's the little Kandalis. We got a whole nother spawn of them. They're doing great. They just take forever, so we don't really give extra. All right, headed off somewhere else. Well, here we are in what we call the white totes. Now these things were, I'm thinking we paid what, $75 for them?
Yeah, something like that.
And they're great to grow the fish until you want to catch the fish. And then they just absolutely, they're the piss. They've got little ridges on the side, like ridges with ruffles. And
I've got this one if you want.
The fish learn how to get in there and hide out. So there's tons and tons of fish in here that I want. And they're just going to be hard to get. So we struggle with it. Normally, if Glenn wasn't filming, he'd be in here with his net kind of blocking.
Net, hands, arms, legs, whatever it takes.
So I push that out a little bit more so I can put these in there. But I only need 6 3.5 inch ones, so I'm thinking I got them.
Yeah.
But these things are wonderful. Like I said, they're easy to set up, fast. But like I said, our goal was we'd raise them here and then we'd move them out of here. But of course, we have no room, as always. So we end up fighting with them out here. There's a drain at the bottom, a big drain. These things were, I think they did syrup in these, didn't they, Glenn?
There's all kinds of stuff. They're just like a universal liquid tote, they call them.
And they have a big drain at the bottom. We just yanked it. When we're really, if I was coming here to close it down. Come here in there.
I see 5.
5?
Yep.
I would pull the drain.
Well, the other thing is, most of our vaults, we have custom-built nets that fit the dimensions of the vaults.
Now, you know what?
Along with our tanks, but we've not done that for these.
Well, you know what? Why did just a bell go off in my head and say, how many times did we come over here and talk about it? And then we go in there and we red rubber ball it. And
ooh, that's a new one. Define red rubber ball.
Red rubber ball is when, for example, I walk the 75 feet.
Now look into the camera when you talk about that.
I walk the 75 feet to my little office in my little shack that I stay in down here with the express purpose of doing something specific. On the way over, a red rubber ball starts bouncing across my brain. So I go into the house, and I might make a cup of coffee, hang out, immediately walk back to the warehouse and go, oh, I forgot to do what I was supposed to do. I might do that 3 or 4 times. Let's suppose I'll go in the door and be ready to do it. And here comes Glenn to ask me a question. And then I go in the door and Tam asks me a question. Well, I'm gonna...
Yibbity, 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 yibbity.
Yeah, red rubber ball. You know, like your dog. You know, your dog's constantly in the red rubber. That's me. Now we're gonna head down here and put in the same bucket some albino Taiwans, and I think I need 6, Glenn.
All right.
I'm looking for some albino Taiwan, and I'm thinking I may have to have the guys catch them because I don't think I can call in these 3.5. Do you? No.
Absolutely you can.
Well,
here, I can't unfold it, but there's my magic measuring stick. Grab one of those.
Well, what is this? Oh, Lord. But I don't, you know, I'm not an exact person here. So.
I know. We give people a little bit of extra, but that concept with the dollar bill or $5, whatever, fold it in half, and that's exactly 3 inches. And so I always keep $1 in my pocket.
Yep.
And I'll say, Rick, that's a 3-inch fish.
See, now I would have never said that.
You're folding it the wrong way. This way. now.
I would have never said
Legally,
that's
a 3 1/4 inch fish.
That's crazy. I mean, I would have said that fish was 2 1/4.
Right behind you, to the right.
So let's see what I can get out of here. Wow, they have,
some of those are nice.
They have color too.
Yeah.
Little males coming up. I'll net in here twice and grab them. But again, here's this tote here. There must be 150 fish in here or more.
200.
Yeah, and you know, you pull through here and you get 50 of them. And the rest of them, they lock into the sides and they just, I don't know if they say piss you off. Here's your dollar back.
Dollar bill, y'all.
I don't know if that's a word I'm allowed to use, piss you off, but they do.
Yep, 200 fish you catch.
Yeah. This is a good one. Did you see another good one?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, that one. Where?
Yep. Yep.
Crafty little devils. This color. All right. So let me see. Let's do one more time, and then we're moving on. I'll count them.
You gonna hold the net?
No, I think I'm just gonna try. I've still got a weakness in my right arm.
Your arm, my back. I've been down on my back all week.
I hate to say it, but we're all old, and this work takes a toll on you. It's not like we're out here. I don't know what we should be out here doing, but it's fun work.
Keeps us active.
Oh yeah.
Now, Rick put those both in the same bucket, so you have
They're going to the same guy.
The Borley eye from the previous.
Yeah, they're the same guy, and they're not going to do anything to each other. And they're going out tomorrow. In fact, these are heading up the road. Tony's doing the. These are way over 3.5.
Yes, absolutely.
They won't be packed together, but they're going together in a tank. They're not going to bother each other. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna give 8. Now,
A baker's half dozen. The
Now,
list
while
is
we're
over
here-
here. I don't want to let this go because
okay, while we're here, do you want? You know what I could look for? The 3 tigers.
Yeah.
Let's get them.
Okay.
Here we are. We're at the tiger hap. Hap finistratus. And I think some of these are oversized. So this is what this got to be 5 inch.
Yep.
So I'm looking for 3 males, 3.5 inch. One, oh, stop it. Here's a nice one right here.
Beautiful.
Again, that's the third one. And find me one more. You know, everybody wants to buy males.
I mean, that's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and I'll continue to say it. If people tell me about it, these fish here, these fish are going to fire up a lot better if they have a nice little female.
Did you get all you need?
I got 4. I got 1 extra. If they had a female with them. Because they fire up for them. They dance for them, you know. So, now the males will react with each other and shove each other around. But it doesn't hurt to have a couple females. So now let's head down the road and stop somewhere else. These are, I'm looking for, we're going to have to use your dollar bill. I'm looking for 2, 5, I think it says 5 to 6 inch, Glenn?
Yeah, 5 to 6 inch Acuticeps, Malawi gar,
These are
predator.
These are F1s that we have. We just raise the crap out of them and sell them, and then they grow up. This tank over here has some nice 3.5. Oh,
Nope.
They're jumping bulls. So now This is 6 inches, correct?
That is exactly 6 inches
Really?
to the dollar. That's
So that's no, there's
absolutely.
that's
Without
bigger than it
question.
should be.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'd always like to go.
Are you sure that's female? I don't know why I saw all kinds of color when your hand.
That's a male. I want 2
Oh,
males.
you wanted 2 males? Okay,
Yes.
very good. I thought you were doing a male and female.
Actually, this is what I should send. And even this.
I mean, that's the 6 inches.
Yeah.
5 3/4 inch.
Oh, so I'm getting screwed again. But they'll be happy, and that's my whole goal. Now, Glenn's gonna go back over to the, he never hands me $20 bills or else he's never get them back. But Glenn's gonna take these fish in, but what we're gonna do before we do that, let me show you something over here. And I'll be working on something while Glenn's going in, so we're heading over somewhere.
Here, hand me those nets. I'll carry these.
In here, we have some Rhodesiae. Now, the guy ordered 25 of the small ones. I know I don't have them. But I have some different sizes in here, so I'm just going to unload this tank, give him the biggest. But here's what I'm talking about. That right there. So while Glenn's gone,
And so what Rick did is he put the big net in front of the drain on the bottom, so we don't lose food.
yeah, it's sucking that net into it. And then I'm just going to unload this until Glenn comes back, and then we'll catch all these out. This tote will be empty. We'll put something in it next week.
Back in the flash.
And I'm going to kick this shut. I'll let it drain while he was gone. And now I'm going to try to get these guys. Yes, but if I will do this for a couple times by myself. And then, oh, good. Now these are all supposed to be 2.5. No way. No. But I'm going to empty the tank out. I got 2 prices on these. I'll kind of split the difference, and it's important to get a tank back because when it's got this few fish in it, it's really useless. You see anything in there?
I don't. This is unbelievable.
No. Did I catch them all?
There's one like 2 inch in the
Where is
corner
it?
there. Okay, you've got some down here in the back.
Okay. Let's see if we can get them.
No, they moved that way.
Did you see more?
I saw there was males in color here.
There was a male in color there.
Okay.
But they get they get underneath this pipe that drains, and they also get in these crevices. They're very crafty about it. See they'll get right in there in that spot in between. And the ones that are left over here are the ones who really, initially when we had 100 in here, they're the ones that figured out to do that. Now I'm calling this empty.
I think it is,
But before we use it,
yeah,
we'll do it one more. We'll actually drain it all the way down. Okay, now we're heading off. Let's see what we got here. We got several sizes. So I'm going to call. I mean, these guys are beautiful. Chilo tilapia rhodesiae, and they're docile. They're almost like a half type Malawi. But they're docile. They don't have a big killer mouth like some of the haps. And these guys are snail squashers. So if you had this in your tank and you had snails in there, you wouldn't have snails for very long. In the wild, that's what they eat a lot of snails. Okay, we're heading somewhere else. I think I'm gonna have some fish out of here that I need. I'm looking for some 3.5 inch pseudos. Oh, they're 3.5 here, aren't they, Glenn?
Yep. Another aquarium.
Yeah, this is well, you know, I may let Tony get these if I don't see what I want in here.
Some gold labs, some OBs.
That's a 3.5, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what I'm worried about is that Tony won't have, if he doesn't have that.
Well, actually, his blue tubs out there are full of 3.5 inch fish.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Does he have things like this in there? You think? How about a couple of those? Because they're kind of odd.
Spice it up with. Sure.
Yes. That's what I was thinking. This is like a salicide. He's not going to find that out there. That salicide is an adult breeder. So that's like Oh! He's not going to find that out there. And this right here, we need to put this with our breeders. Zimbabwe female. And we don't have those. Well, I had a guy breeding those for me, but I don't want to say that he's disappeared off the radar, but he's disappeared off the radar. And I have no idea where he is, what he's doing. I have my suspicions.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say them. All right, so I think I'm going to go through these, pull out some. Now, if Tony says he can't match these size-wise, then I'll let him recatch everything. And then these guys will come back out to the aquarium. So let's see what we got. I'm not going to take, who do you think I should not take, Glenn?
I would take everything and just let Tony go through it.
Yep. Okay. Now, definitely these two guys are going. Definitely this guy's going. Nice. That's one of those Galleria reefs. Nice
I like
fish.
them.
Yeah, but they're just
Kind of like a hongi, but you know,
but
different.
they are just meaner than can be.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they won't tolerate another male in there with them. So we almost have to breed them one male to the female. So okay, that's that for that. Now,
What are you doing in Pamela's area?
well, I got to get pearl black Calvus, and she's not here. So it's up to me. And she gave me strict instructions on what I was allowed to do and not do.
Yeah, well, good thing she sent me a text and told me to videotape you in her area because she doesn't trust a thing you do.
Well, you know, she tells me, like, I'm so low on fish. Look at that tank next door. Look at that tank. Those are gold heads. Those are not only gold heads, they're young breeder gold heads.
Yeah, but they're her fish.
Yeah, well, she's got to sell them. I mean, you know, she's always, I don't want to use the word bitching because I don't know if you're allowed to say it, but she's always complaining, I'm running out of fish, I'm running out of fish. And I'm going, okay, well, then I walk over here and I go, I got to keep some for breeders. Well, how many are you going to keep? Well, I need 3 or 4 pairs. Well, there's 40 of them in there. How about we sell them? No, I'll just keep feeding them.
Black
Calvus, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
3, 4, 5, 6. They don't get any free ones. 7, 8. I'm not aware of anybody who's raising as many Tanganyikans as we do. I mean, it's remarkable to me. We got people that all
And not at the upsize that we're offering them.
yeah, and you know, there's people. We got people come to us and they go, "Hey, I saw you." And you know, oh, by the way, a lot of you have gone into your local pet shops and said, "Hey, we're watching YouTubes and we need a fish. The guy has it." We've picked up what, 2 or 3 customers?
Sure.
And if any of you want to do that, go in there if you see something. Now, also, if you can't find anybody in your local area that carries something like our MOBAs, a lot of stores won't carry them, there's so much money, give us a little note. We'll see if we can find where you can get them. Because I want you to have them if you see them. And if you don't live in an area where they will do it, anyway. But we appreciate that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, we got one more place to go over here. And then we're going to go look for some assorted trophies. So here we go. This is the last tank in this area we're going to get. Now, some of you may have seen our putting out little fish video a couple months back, or a month, I don't know when we did it. But they were the reds and the cobalts and the red OBs. And, well, this is them after several months. I don't know how many months. We should date these things, but then that works off the side. So anyway, I'm gonna get some of these, and then we're off to see
The wizards.
So then I got a question. Are these 1.5 inches?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2. Well, that was challenging me that I couldn't catch enough fish to do this, and I said, if I can't catch 50.
Oh, well then these are all inch and a quarter. You're gonna have to throw them back.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is you're 100% right. Everything I want is over there, and I didn't get them. So
it's a bigger tank.
So put your camera down for a minute, and then we'll start.
Well, I can push the big net.
Oh, you're like ambidextrous, or what do you want to call it, or multi-talented?
Yes.
Glenn hurt his back the other day here, and he was crippled for a couple of days. We all had a lot of compassion for him.
Yeah, right.
If you can guess.
And of all things, I was bending over, cleaning out the cubby holes that we put all of the peacocks in.
No, the trophies.
Oh, that's right.
The trophies that we brought in
Okay,
last
1, 2, 3,
week.
go.
Trophies we brought in last week. They were in cubbies, and Glenn didn't want to yank the cubbies out with the fish in them because he was afraid they'd hurt him. So being the diligent guy he is, he leaned over and actually...
Yeah, it's not like I wasn't lifting anything. It was just I bent over and it felt like somebody stabbed an ice pick into my lower back.
I know what he did, and I kept counseling him to go to the hold those right there, Glenn. So the chiropractor,
bone doctor.
Because I know what he did. He flipped his hip out. And if he'd gone in, it had been stubborn. But no, he walked around crippled.
Did I get all my work done?
In a satisfactory way.
Ooh, be careful, Biro.
Yeah.
Be very careful.
Yeah, you be careful. Oh! And I'm not even supposed to be here today. I had to go home yesterday for a doctor's appointment, and then all of a sudden I looked at emails. Said, oh yeah, we want fish. Yesterday I didn't have them.
Oh yeah, a reminder to all stores, fish orders are in by Monday. Here it is, Friday afternoon, because...
This actually is our odd, this is our run-up state.
Yeah, but
the East Coast,
it's still, if we had advance notice...
Listen, 90% of the big boys, fish are in their warehouse when they go to do it. So you can call them up on a Monday and say, I'd like these to go out tomorrow. Well, 90% of what we have is outside.
Out here.
And these guys are eating 24/7. Even if we're not feeding them, they're picking at the sides, especially this time of year with algae blooms and stuff, which is going to be a problem. So we can't just come out here and catch a fish and ship it to you because it won't be purged. And then we'll get a call from you say, ooh, the water came in really stinky and the fish are dead. And that'll be on me, so I won't do it. So we stopped feeding on Sunday. We like the orders to be in on Monday. Start catching. We'll let people add on Tuesday perhaps. But after that, we're prepping to ship. So we're not gonna go catching more fish. Unless they're in the warehouse. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And we literally ship hundreds
8, 9, 10.
of boxes of fish every week.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, yeah. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we're doing a special. We do specials every month. So we're doing this month's special, and then we did March Madness special. Look at these guys in here. I swear to you, those, turn that water off, those tricolor sips in there are as big as the sips I got wild.
Yep.
And they're breeding.
Yep.
Amazing.
Beautiful. And those the
Lalupi.
Lalupi are in there.
They're nuts. And that big old, look at, oh, there's 3. Did you know that there was 3 big rhinos in here?
Yep. You see how clean this tank is?
I know it, but you know, these guys are like prehistoric.
I call these guys the 3 Stooges.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yep.
And in another month or so, I'll be able to start getting them again. We have a
we don't raise them here on the farm.
No, we got too much water. We got a great supplier, but she only has them once a year, the springtime, And I think last year we must have bought 300 or 400 maybe.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy. If I could buy 1,000 of them, I'm gonna buy them. Because they come in several.
Okay,
kinds.
Biro.
Yeah, I'm done.
While you're talking way over there, and there's no
Okay, I'm
microphone.
done.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, oh, by the way, I'm supposed to give Glenn a minute or cut off, but he knows me. I'm not cutting off.
Yeah, ask me how long this snippet has been running. 6 minutes and 16 seconds.
Just over here?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What a blabbermouth. All right.
Lollygagger. You're called a yapper.
Assorted, Tropheus. We sometimes never have enough Tropheus. So we just throw them out. You can tell later what they are. So I could pick out types here, but I'm not gonna. One, and I think I'm gonna put a few Du Boises. Little Malero, purple. Two.
I think when my phone's not focusing in like that.
3, 4, 5, 6. How many you want? 8? So let's throw 2 Du Boises inside, Glenn.
Yeah.
7. I'll even give him one of these for free. 8. Now, and these are in our Lirios. Black Classics. These are, again,
they come palm pots to put large palm trees in. It's actually a planter pot, but we buy them without the holes drilled in the bottom.
and if you look at them, you can see where it's got a slot for a forklift to snatch them up. You know what I just did?
Probably threw them all back in.
I did.
Well, that was
What a stupid.
that was genius, Biro.
All right, now I'm pissed off because I thought I was done. But I counted out 8. So,
So now we're gonna get a different assortment.
yeah. I can't. There's a rubber ball. That was a rubber ball. Because I was going to talk about these Lirios here. So I said, okay, I'll talk about that as soon as I catch these guys out. So I caught them out, put them in the net to move them over to the bucket. And the rubber ball went bouncing by. And
My father used to call that trout syndrome.
trout syndrome.
Yeah, because you see something shiny and your attention is distracted.
That's true.
Because trouts it's like barracuda. I guess here for us it'd be barracuda syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Anything shiny in the water.
I remember one time I was out lobstering and I was coming up to my boat, and Tama and Matt were in there fishing. Fishing while I was lobstering, and sitting under the boat was this 5-foot barracuda. It was 6 feet. It was probably 2 feet, but it was 6 feet. Every fish they brought up the bottom, it slammed. So here I am swimming to the boat. I've got 2 lobsters pushed against my chest, another in my hand, and they're going click, 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 which says I'm in trouble, which alerts every fish in the area. And I swim up, and there's that barracuda. And you know how they do that thing where they go. And I came up out of the water. I said, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're fishing. I said, you're chumming the water for me to get killed. I think that was the intention. Anyway, here we go, into the warehouse.
Excuse me, outro please.
Oh, yes, because we're not going to film us catching fish in the warehouse.
No, we're not.
Okay, hey everybody, thanks for being here. Hopes this works out. We did, oh, look at that fish. He's going to be really cheap next week. Subscribe, like us, and comment. And see this fish right here? This is how Rick left it. Now, if I had wanted to throw a fish on top of there and said, give me 10,000 bucks if I can do it, I could do it all day long and never do it. Anyway, bye.